vibe like this? Do for a vibe like this. Tell me what you gon' do for a vibe like this. Do for a vibe like this. Fill my cup, let me take a sip. Roll one up, let me spark my split. Vibe like this, vibe like this.
Yo, what up, beautiful people? You are now tuned into the Erratic Show, only show where we in the streets and in the street. I am Erratic Assassin, the hip hop therapist. It is a beautiful Wednesday, a lovely Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well, doing fine. Talking about Wednesdays, just to give you a heads up if you want to go anywhere out tonight, the homie by Ronda has a weekly show called the Weekly Lineup. Live performance, live acts. I think tonight it's Serene out there. Performing tonight, got some DJs, it's a beautiful place out there at Barber, Black Sheep, as well tonight happening at Spotify, Greasy Tunes, the Sobering podcast. They're having a live show with Slicker on live from 3 to 6, so go check that out. That's going to be beautiful. If you see me out there, show me some love, give me a hug, you know what to do. And just say hi, man, say peace. But let's get right into the show. Starting off on a Wednesday, it's got what would. And talking about what would is like, what would you rather do? What would you rather be? And I was talking about a homie with it this weekend just because, you know, social media, some tweets is that, would you rather be a teenager now, young 20s now, or back then in the days like, you know, the 2000s and so, because I'm just thinking about like, back then, you know, it was good times. There was a sense of freedom in the fact that as much as there was always peer pressure and like standards, there was still a space to do yourself because social media wasn't there and there wasn't everything in your face. Like if you're going home, you have to play outside. Like if you're not seeing people, if you're not talking, you know, you weren't really engaging like that. Mix it, yeah, it was nice, but you're not on Mix It all the time. You know what I'm saying? Wi-Fi and data wasn't booming like that. You know, so you weren't having those pressures and standards, and not everyone had a voice in the chat. So not everything mattered, or not everyone's opinion mattered. Now with social media, everyone's got thoughts and think pieces, and you know the standards are crazy. Like I remember back then, everyone's like, "Oh no, you should try to find love" and all that stuff. Now everyone's like, "Yo, dog, if you ain't got no money, it ain't shit." And I don't know where that came from, but I believe it did come from the ISIS. Because think about it, back then, if you wanted to travel, you had to ask your parents, you had to say maxi taxi, you had to do, you know, even a maxi taxi, maybe call the boy, he tells you I'm leaving here at 8. You know, you don't have a phone while you're out, so you can't even like try call. There's certain times, you know, between here, I'm stuck, or you have to ask what we say in taxis. Now, they got Ubers, they got Instagram, you can holler at Shawty, you don't need to just go say, you know, you can slide, you can be like high school famous, you know what I'm saying? Like you can actually be high school famous, so it's crazy. And I don't know, you know, I'd want to see now just to be like, if I would still be within myself, if I could still handle the extreme peer pressure and be like, nah, I'm still doing me, I'm still that nigga. Compared to back then where you had that space and freedom. I just think it's like, you know, something to think about, really crazy, really out there. But yeah, you know, so what would you rather be, a teenager, young 20s back then, and you know the 2000s, or now as things are booming? But now, you know, just thinking about, you know, trying to get into their perspective. I think it's a good, like, just to get into, like, try to get into their perspective. I think sometimes we judge the younger generation too hard, and it's like, oh, you're actually going through a lot of shit. Y'all niggas actually handling, like, it's crazy what you guys got to deal with and all that stuff. You know, just try get into their world a bit for a minute. And talking about worlds, you know, it's a Wednesday, so we're getting into the world of sport. We're going to keep it local, starting up Springbok, New Zealand, so South African rugby team up against the All Blacks, the New Zealand rugby team. We came head to head, famous battle, famous rivalry. Unfortunately, we lost to the New Zealand 35-20. But you know, ain't no biggie. It happens. We won't be ready. We want to be bouncing back. We still believe in the booker for the Rugby World Cup happening in France this year. So nah. We'll be aight. You know. But talking about New Zealand, the FIFA Women's World Cup actually starts. I think it might be our tonight, but tomorrow. Technically, it starts tomorrow out in Australia and New Zealand. We're going to be supporting Banyana Banyana, who are taking part. Obviously, we're hoping they bring it home. They can go as far as they can go, but whatever they do, we're proud of our queens. They fought so hard. They've represented us so well, from winning the Women African Cup of Nations. Now they're out here qualifying, going out there representing us. Now we're proud of them. They doing the things. They're actually holding down the country. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. And talking about, World Cups, the Netball World Cup is happening next week out in Cape Town. So if you love netball, if you happen to be in Cape Town, if you happen to be able to get to Cape Town, go out there, watch, support the Spar Proteas. Our queens are out there doing their thing, also representing. Let's hold it down. Let's make sure they can, keep the trophy here at home. Now that it's here, let's help them keep it here at home. So, and talking about trophies and winners, moving on to Wimbledon, the finals happened this weekend. Starting off with the women's, we had Marketa Vondrousova up against Ons Jabeur. Marketa came out winning there with a 6-4, 6-4 set, beating Ons. So shout out to her. She's getting her Grand Slam, big feeling, great feeling. And then next up, we're on to the men's finals. We had Carlos Alcaraz up against Novak Djokovic. I know people were not wanting Novak to win. I think they just don't want him to, go above their favorites, Nadal and Federer, and just like all-time titles, all-time Grand Slams. So Carlos Alcaraz, people are calling him the young protege, the one. He won his first Grand Slam with the 7-6-6 set. Winning the 3 sets up against Novak with his 2-6 sets. So yeah, apparently it was an interesting final. It was a big final, it was a great final. If you are here in the know, sorry about that. They are doing some construction up there. But yeah, we're going to keep it on with the winners of Volleyball Nations League. We had the women's finals this weekend. Turkey beating China for the gold. Turkey doing their thing. Vagras, MVP. I love her swag. She was killing it. She was going ham. And then we had Poland beating USA in the third, fourth matchup. So Poland getting the bronze medal. So shout out to all the women, the queens. I know the Vietnam men's final will be happening this weekend. So if you're into the volleyball, you can watch that. You can check that out. Keeping with the women, WNBA All-Star Weekend. It happened this past weekend. First of all, record set. Sabrina Ionescu record set for NBA or WNBA all-time. 3-point shooting contest with 37 points. All homegirls on fire. She was shooting that. She was letting that thing go. It was wet. It was just dripping. It was leaking. Nothing but. She just let it go, man. So shout out to that. That was mad. That was insane. That was insane. You guys need to go watch that. That was a shooting performance. And apparently, talking about performances, Ronda Rousey is set to make a return to the UFC. Performing in the ring again. I know, I always enjoyed her. When she left, I was sad because, leaving on an hour is never the way I want to go. But I've always said, man, fighters are crazy. If someone beat my ass the first time, I'm just going to leave. I'll be like, yeah, dog, nah, you're not going to beat my ass again. Fool me once, fool me twice. Whoa, that's crazy. So yeah, but, rooting for her. Everybody loves a comeback story. Talking about a comeback story, Daniel Ricciardo's back in the F1, baby. Under Red Bull again, but their junior team. So we'll see how that goes. Very, very interesting. I guess obviously that relationship has always been good. They've been solid. I won't lie to you, I don't even know that much about F1. I just watch Drive to Survive on Netflix. That shit bang, that shit fire. Ooh, I won't lie, that shit good. Want to see the next one coming up. And then just end off on a light note. Steph Curry, we know he's long-range distance shooter on the court, but apparently also on the golf course as well, hitting this shot straight into the hole, man. Look at that celebration was crazy. People were saying if golfers had more excitement and celebrations like this, they would probably watch more. I'm my bad, man. I'm not. Doesn't entertain me like that. It doesn't entertain me like that. Like I entertain you guys. I know you guys stayed entertained. Are you entertained? Of course you are, baby. Of course you are. But unfortunately, that is the end of the show for today. Thank you for tuning in. Much love always. You have been rocking with the Erratic Show, only show where we in the streets and industry. You know how we do. It's Erratic Assassin here, the hip hop therapist. Have a lovely Wednesday. If I see you out tonight, give me love, give me dap. It's all cool, baby. It's all love. Peace.